Could the POJ Act apply to political parties? The Supreme Court is hearing a PIL which says that the presence of internal compliance committees ICC to address sexual harassment is inconsistent in political parties. The Supreme Court is hearing a PIL which says that the presence of internal compliance committees to address sexual harassment is inconsistent in political parties. The Supreme Court on Monday, December 9, heard a PIL stating that the sexual harassment of women at workplace prevention, prohibition, and redressal Act 2030 POJ Act should apply to political parties. The court directed the petitioner, Advocate Yogamaya MG, to first approach the Election Commission of India as they were the competent authority to prevail upon the recognized political parties for creation of an in-house mechanism to deal with complaints of sexual harassment in a way that is consistent with the provisions of the Forge Act. The Forge Act requires both public and private workplaces to set up an internal complaints committee to hear complaints of sexual harassment. The plea in question claims that when it comes to political parties, the presence of internal complaints committees to address sexual harassment is inconsistent. This case has sparked a conversation on how the POJ Act applies, if at all, to the organizations like political parties, which often lack a traditional workplace structure. Who does the POJ Act apply to? Section 3.1 of POJ Act states that no woman shall be subjected to sexual harassment at any workplace. This immediately tells us how the POJ Act will apply at the workplace and only when the aggrieved party is a woman. The definition of workplace in the POJ Act is expansive. It includes organizations, institutions, and so on in the public sector which are established, owned, controlled, or wholly or substantial financed by funds provided directly or indirectly by the appropriate government, as well as organizations in the private sector, hospitals, nursing homes, sports venues, houses, and even covers locations visited by an employee during the course of employment. However, the prospect of applying the Act becomes murky when it comes to political parties. Before the current PIL was filed at the Supreme Court, a court has only ever addressed this question once when the Kerala High Court decided the case of Center for Constitutional Rights Research and Advocacy v. State of Kerala and ORS 2022. The court heard several petitions seeking the establishment of ICCs in television, film, news, and political organizations, including the BJP and Congress. On the subject of political parties, the court held that there is no employer employee relationship with its members, and political parties do not carry out any private venture, undertaking, enterprises, institutions, establishment, etc. In contemplations of a workplace under the POJ Act. As such, the court held that political parties are not liable to make any internal complaints committee. Could the POJ Act apply to political parties? The Representations of People Act 1951 RP Act governs how to register a political party under Section 29A. Any association or body of individual citizens of India calling itself a political party must take a must make an application for registrations with the ECI. This application must provide details including the name of the party, the state where its head office is situated, the names of office barriers, details of local units, and number of members. The applications must also contain a memorandum of rules and regulations and must contain a provision stating that the party shall bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India. However, the POJ Act hangs its hat on protecting women from sexual harassment in the workplace, which can be difficult to determine for a political parties. Party workers, for instance, who parties tend to employ in droves, often have little interaction with high-level officials and are hired temporarily to operate on the field without a defined workplace. Moreover, if the court or the ECI does decided to make the Forge Act applicable to political parties, it will have to clarify who the employer is in the context of a political party, as the employer is responsible for setting up the ICC to handle cases of sexual harassment at the workplace. That said, the term workplace under the POJ Act includes locations visited by an employee during the course of employment, which could conceivably allow the Act's protections to extend to party workers in the field. The Forge Act also provided a wide definition for the term employee and includes people who are employed temporarily, contract workers, or volunteers with or without the knowledge of the principal employer. Further, party constitutions often provide organizational hierarchies which could help determine who the employer would be. The BJP constitution and rule, for instance, provided details of a seven-level organizational structure beginning with local committees up to the national level with an exhaustive list of members and office barriers at each level. Currently, parties handle internal discipline through their committees. The Congress constitutions and rules, for instance, creates a hi- hierarchy of committees and allows higher level committees to take action against committees and individual membership and members that are subordinate to it. The BJP constitution establishes a disciplinary action committee at the national and state level. Both constitutions list actions that would be considered breach of discipline, but sexual harassment could conceivably only fall under one of the board headings such as acting in a way calculated to lower the prestige of the party. BJP with a similar breach listed in the Congress constitution or being guilty of offences involving moral tribute Congress constitution. There is also no requirement for these committees to have women or external members as would be required of an ICC under the Forge Act. What has ECI is stand been on getting political parties to comply with other law. The ECI derives its authority from Article 324 of the Constitution, which vests it with the power of superintendence, direction, and control of elections to the Parliament, State Legislature, Office of President, and Office of the Vice President. These powers are further strengthened by the RP Act, while its role has been defined in the RP Act clearly. When it comes to other laws, it has not it's not as well defined. For instance, the Central Information Commission had ruled in 2030 that the Right to Information Act 2005 was applicable to political parties too, since there have been petitions filed in the Supreme Court seeking direction to parties to appoint public information officers, but parties are yet to do so, which levels the question of how is the ECI handling the issue. For its part of the ECI has said it adheres to the CIC order. In a press statement on May 28, 2018, the ECI said Election Commission of India goes by the CIC order of 3rd June 2013 that national parties would be public authorities for the purpose of RTI Act, and in pursuance of this all the information about the contribution received by them as well as their annual audit accounts as and when submitted to the commission